comes, you're like,
Listen, it was hard to say no when you have the world title dangling in front of me.
Listen, to be honest with you, it was the perfect fight because it was sold really well in Glasgow, and actually now we fight a smaller profile fight, even though it's unification because he's not as big a name as you. Probably a tougher fight than you at 140 because I think you would have been...
Come on, Eddie!
Paulie, come on,
Eddie!
You're about 55 years old.
Come on! Yo!
But he's fast Paulie.
He'll always be fast. He's just a little bit slower than he used to be.
Well, you know, all right, I'll give you that. I don't know what I would have had left at 140. You know, I would have been just as... I would have been going into uncharted territory.
No, but the advantage you would have had is on fight night because you would have been about 155 pounds. And Ricky Burns goes into the ring about 140.
You know the advantage of what I had fight night? I'm better! I mean, I'm a better fighter! That's the advantage of what I had fight night. I'm better!
I forgot about it.
Yeah. What about, so I know we didn't interview 2 weeks, and you know, that's Steve Bash, that's my lawyer. He's at Los Angeles time.
Your former lawyer.
Well, no, he's still a lawyer. He's still my lawyer. No, in LA they work a little slower. So on Christmas and New Year's and Hanukkah season, they work even slower. So
the good news is that even if you did reply, we probably still wouldn't have done it because the Indongo fight was too big to turn down. And everybody the Indongo fight's dangerous, but everybody wanted the Indongo fight. Terence Crawford, Francis Bartholomew, Trojanovic, the rematch.
When you get this new guy with his belt, you feel like it's out there to be taken.
He comes out in Namibia. He's not really boxed out in Namibia before the Trojansky fight.
Yeah.
He knocks him out in a round. We don't really know if it was a lucky punch, how good he is. We know he's dangerous because he can obviously punch. Yeah. We're hoping he's not quite as good as that clip looks. And then if he's not, Ricky Burns and then we can do Terence Crawford again for 4 belts. Which hardly ever happens in boxing now.
That's the plan.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
what about Adrien Broner? Adrien Broner was in the mix.
Broner had the chance to take the fight, and it's like he fighting Granados instead. But
in the meantime, you're gonna fight in April. You're gonna fight Indongo. Say everything goes good and Burns wins the fight. Say Broner beats Granados, or Granados beats Broner even. Would you take the winner of that fight?
Granados isn't a big enough fight for Burns. We'd love the Broner fight. He's always wanted that fight, and I think Ricky Burns beats Adrien Broner, to be honest with you. I mean, you never really know. I remember watching Broner against Gavin Rees, one of our fighters in Atlantic City, for the world title at 135 pounds. I've got to say, I thought he was incredible. I remember watching that fight. After about 30 seconds, the bell rang. Gavin Rees come out like a little pocket rocket. Broner to him, crack, I think he hit him with an uppercut, and I just thought, this kid is unbelievable.
Really?
At 135 pounds.
I still hadn't fought him yet. I didn't think. I didn't think so.
No. But the thing is, I believe he was the fighter at lightweight. Once he moved up to welterweight, completely different fighter. I think at lightweight, I think he was brilliant. Adrien Broner.
And I agree with you there too as well. I thought the weight class for him was lightweight, but it's a friend of lightweight. Once you start going above that,
at the end of the day, light welter is okay, but when he was moving at welter and he was.
So you think Ricky beats Adrien because you think Ricky beats Adrien, or because you're Eddie Hearn, Ricky Burns promoter?
I'm not sure about Adrien, but you never know what you're going to get, do you?
No, you don't.
I mean, I've seen him in fights. He's stunk the place out, and looks like he isn't motivated at all. And then other times he looks great in that fight. But I think Burns is the kind of guy. I mean, styles make fights. When Burns fought, and I know it's a completely different style to Broner, but when Burns boxed Omar Figueroa, he came in 2 pounds over the weight, and he was weighing about 160 odd pounds in the ring. But Burns can stand there.
Burns a great chin.
Burns actually, you were a terrible style for Burns. And even the trainer and Burns said, it's not a great style for me, but we like the fight because it's a big profile fight. You get someone that actually comes to fight, and I know Broner is a tactician as well, but he gets sloppy with it sometimes. He's not like a De Gale where he's like,
he fights in spots.
like a De Gale style for Burns, obviously a different weight, would be horrific because he's in and out, he's moving, and that's what Ricky struggles to deal with, really. I mean, don't forget, it was probably the closest fight. The last fight that Terence Crawford had that was actually competitive on the scorecards was the Ricky Burns fight. And Ricky Burns was coming back from a broken jaw straight after the Beltran fight. I mean, you imagine coming out, breaking your jaw against Beltran, very fortunate to get a draw, and then having to fight Terence Crawford straight after. And everyone knew, people were saying to me in the States, this Crawford's an unbelievable fighter. We knew, but he was the mandatory anyway. But it was still, although Burns lost comfortably, he was still competitive. He still won rounds.
No,
You tell me fighters that are winning
fight.
rounds. Yeah, but no fighters are winning rounds against Terence Crawford.
And not only that, Ricky comes to fight. Ricky's there for the long haul. Ricky's never been stopped, I believe. You know, he's there to make it work. So, of course, there's also a wrinkle in everybody's hat is if they can stop, if Feather everybody's hat, if they can stop Ricky Burns. I mean, that's what Ndongo's going to be coming to do, obviously.
And at 140,
Yeah.
you know, there's going to be more power there.
Yeah.
You know, like when he was at 135.
Yeah, there's more power to
Sometimes the fight, like I think Ricky was killing himself at 135 pounds. I used to see him make the weight. You know, when he done the Beltran fight, done the Crawford fight, and after that we put him in with Dejan Zlatikani. People forget about that fight. But at the time, it's a guy who was like 15-1 out of Serbia and Montenegro. We watched the tapes, and although he was southpaw, it was like, okay, this guy's like nothing. Brought him over. But opening 20 seconds of the fight, hit him with a huge left hand over the top. Ricky Burns, I'm thinking, oh. So now he's gone Beltran, broken jaw, Crawford, and Dejan Zlatikani. That was his 3 fights. And it's like, I think after the fight, he sort of cut to me and says, what are you trying to do to me? You know.